welcome Sister Elizabeth to share with men this evening on how we should behave when we are eating. Karibu sana. Amen.
Okay. Allow me first to thank the Almighty God because I'm only here because He made a way for me to be here. Thank you so much to God, and thank you so much, my father, Bishop Titus Bai, and the pastors of these ministries and the leadership of men for giving me this opportunity to speak to you. It's rare to find a group of men alone wanting to learn about nutrition. It's my first time to speak to men alone. And I'm happy that I always start with destiny. I always start with destiny. When I did my bachelor's, I started with the ladies, and I've done it twice from that time, and now I'm doing it with men. So I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. I want to talk about a few things about nutrition because I know men are the most responsible in the families. So men are fathers, men are husbands, and men are brothers. I believe we have men who has maybe breastfeeding babies. We have men who have teenagers. Yeah, and we have men who may be having expectant wives, okay? So now, I first want to introduce nutrition. At least we know what is nutrition. Some people confuse us with herbalists. But we are different, as we do something called nutrition and health, okay? You know, when I came out there, I almost was not allowed to come. The man at the gate was telling me, it is men alone. There is no way you can go there. And I told him I'm the one who is going to speak. He was like, no. He checked on his phone. He told me, you are not the one. I called Daktari. Little did I know he was a member of praise team today. So I'm happy that I made it here. Okay. So nutrition is a science, and it is just about food from the time you ingest it and all the processes that take place in your body when you take food. Of course, the food has to be chewed, the food has to be digested, and the food has to be absorbed, to be used by the body. And the waste has to be excreted, all right? So that is all about nutrition. It has a lot to learn about. So today I'm going to explain a plate. That is what I will start with. I will explain what a plate of a main meal should have, all right? That means I'll talk about the types of foods and what we mean when we say a balanced diet. Then after explaining that, I'll talk about three major things. I'll talk about something called fats. I'll talk about salt, and I'll talk about sugar, all right? And I'll also say what is junk food. You hear a lot about junk food because we have to be healthy. And with that, I'll also mention about two conditions that are they are worrying: diabetes and hypertension. Too much. We are getting so many, and we have to talk to people and teach them about it. So when we talk about a balanced diet, first of all, we have to talk about the types of foods, the food that we eat in our house. We have what is called carbohydrates, or the starches. These are the sweetest foods, of course, the likes of ugali, rice, roots and tubers such as arrowroots, sweet potatoes, chapatis, cakes, sweet sodas, all those things are in that group of carbohydrates. I usually ask men, the one who come in the hospital, what is the sweetest food? They always tell me it is meat. And I ask them a question. If you go home and you find your wife having cooked for you meat and sukuma wiki, will you eat immediately? You'll have to wait, okay? What will you be waiting for? Yes, ugali or rice to complete the, yet meat and vegetables is food, all right? And you cannot eat that daily. You will always demand for a carbohydrate. These foods, when they are digested, they bring out a sugar called glucose. That's why they are the sweetest. And this glucose is the end product of these carbohydrates after digestion. And glucose is the main source of energy in your body. And also these foods are the ones that give you weight, okay? They are the ones that give you weight. That is the first group. There is another group of food called proteins. Proteins are of two types. There is the animal proteins and the plant proteins. Animal proteins are the likes of meats, what men like most, fish, chicken, eggs, and milk. Then the plant proteins are the likes of all types of beans, the jahes, the current generation, they say they belong to the hardware. Jahes, okay? The basis, the dengus, all types is what are called proteins. Proteins are the body builders. And I have to say something here because I know some of you have little babies. Some people say that height is for God, but fatness is for you too. But even height depends on what you feed your child for the first 2 years of life. All right? The moment your baby gets, after 2 years, no getting taller than age. So if your baby is less than the age of, the height of the baby is less than the height of the age of 2 years, that means that person will be shorter than age forever. You cannot correct that after 2 years. And that is the time when your child don't get the proteins. True of us. We are in Mount Kenya region, okay? Here people give what to babies? Potatoes, merengues, bananas. You find there is no protein in the food. So you find we are shorter. And if you want to believe what I'm saying, look at the different tribes. And I don't want to bring that, but you know who are the tallest in Kenya and what they eat most, all right? You can do your research at your own time, all right? So that is the proteins, okay? They are the body builders, and also they are the ones that repair the tissues in the body. Like when you have big wounds in burns, in accidents, we usually have very high protein foods which are commercial. They are like medication, or they can even be in form of tablets that we give to such people who have big wounds, which are very high in protein for them to heal the wounds. So there is also another type of nutrient called the vitamins. Vitamins are mostly from fruits and vegetables. They are very good for immunity. I know you ate a lot of lemons during COVID-19 season. Until today, you are not eating anymore because they may have caused a lot of acidity and ulcers. Too much of anything is poisonous. Lemon is very rich in vitamin C, and it is also very acidic. But there are so many other sources of vitamin C. So vitamins are mostly for immunity. Then there is minerals, another group of foods called minerals. Minerals come from all types of food. You eat the cereals, you have some. You eat vegetables, you eat fruits, you eat meats. You get it. They come from a variety of food. They are very good for the way our blood vessels works, the way our heart works, the way our bones are, the way you work. For you to write, the way you are writing, to hold a pen, to sit, to wake up. some minerals must be there in your body. So you get them from a variety of food. For you to get enough, you have to eat a variety of foods. That is the minerals. Of course, we have fat. Fat is also a type of nutrient. And fats are many types. We have fat that we buy, the one we use to cook. We have fat that is usually in foods like meats. We have fat that is in fruits and vegetables. Nuts. Nuts are fats. Even when we calculate them as fat. Jugu karangas and the like, the cashew nuts and all those. Yeah, those are the groups of food. So when you put your plate of food on the table, I want to give an example. Maybe you have made ugali, and you have your vegetables. It can be sukuma wiki, it can be kunde, it can be mohikanaihu, it can be kahorora. There are so many. Every tribe have their own traditional vegetables. And then you have a portion of protein. So what we mean by a balanced diet simply means that you are not taking one type of nutrient at the expense of another. Yes, you can have a protein and a carbohydrate and vegetables, but that may not mean that your plate is balanced. You can have a mountain of ugali, isn't it? And just a few veggies, and maybe a piece of meat and soup. So that is not balanced. You are eating so much of the carbohydrates at the expense of the other nutrients, all right? So what we mean is when you eat a small portion of carbohydrates, another portion of meat or protein, and another portion of vegetables. That's what we simply mean with balanced diet. And most of the time you'll find you eat ugali with vegetables, there is no protein, okay? Yes, so it should always have at least 3 main meals, then you take a fruit. A fruit should be an hour or more before a meal. If you eat a fruit immediately after food, you even feel maybe a lot of acidity. So you should eat it at least an hour or more before a meal. So then, I want to talk about sugar, and before I talk about it, of course, in our nation, majority of adults have malnutrition. And the malnutrition that we have is not under, it is over. Because we have two types of malnutrition. We have overnutrition and undernutrition, all right? When you go to our under 5s, we have more undernutrition than overnutrition. What does that tell you? People have no information. The adults are over malnourished. The young ones are undernourished. So there is a problem, and it is not like they lack food. But there is something we call household food insecurity. You find for adults, there is enough food, but for the young ones, there is less food. Or maybe the person doesn't have an idea on how to feed a child, all right? So what is junk? Junk food is any food that has excess sugars or excess salt or excess fat. That is what we call junk. And those foods are the most appealing, true or false? They are the most appealing. Yeah, they are the most appealing food. The ones our children likes, the teenagers are there. I'm going to touch a few things about them. And these are the things that are causing trouble in our health because of these two diseases I'm talking about, the high blood pressure and diabetes. And unfortunately, these diseases, if they are not controlled, they are the ones that are leading in kidney failure diseases. 70% of patients with kidney failure is caused by diabetes and hypertension. Diabetes being the leading, followed by hypertension. So 70%. These two diseases have no pain, all right? Maybe you get some headaches, you take men, Sorry, I have to speak the truth. At least I'm not a preacher today. I'm a health worker. We speak how things are, okay? How many men do you find in the queues in the hospital? If you see a man, I always tell people, if you see a man in the queue, please help that man. That man, yes, that man is very sick, very sick. And he has treated himself until now he feels. And if that man, probably ameletwa, okay? Yes, so men come to the hospital when they are very sick. Because you get a headache, you go and buy Panadol, all right? A man will expect Panadol to work within 10 minutes, true or false, so that they go and do their thing. So 10 minutes are over, an hour is over, 2 hours is over, then he goes for another one, another painkiller, isn't it? Then it doesn't work. Then he joins men in the evening out there, because a man will not sit at home because of a headache. And they will be advised to take what? Which one? Strongest now for men, the one they know mostly, diclofenac, okay? If that now doesn't work, now they have to look for a doctor somewhere, okay? So headache is a sign of, it's not a disease on itself, it's a sign of another problem. So it is always good to be checked. So when you hear, maybe you feel that ache in the head, or you are feeling tired, or you are feeling uncomfortable, and you go to a doctor, then you find that you are diabetic or you are hypertensive. You are given your medication, and then you go home. And because you don't like hospital, and you have the prescription, you keep buying them. You don't go back again to be checked whether the drugs are working or not, whether you need to be added the dose, or whether you need to reduce the dose. You just continue with the medication that you have. Anyway, what are the causes of these diseases? Okay? Of course, there are many causes of hypertension and diabetics. They are called lifestyle diseases, all right? They are lifestyle diseases, so the way you live determines how you get it. So if you are eating a lot of junk, you are likely to get it. If you are overweight, if you are obese, overweight and obese, if you don't do exercises, physical activity is very important. It doesn't mean you go for gym. You can be walking, you can be jogging, you can be playing around with your children in the evening. Those are exercises. Some of us work where we sit a lot, okay? So now this sugar and this salt and this fat, there is something we call trans fat. Trans fat is bad fat, okay? That fat is mostly the one that is found in the baked foods, the one that is found in deep fried foods, the chips that you like, the sausages that you like, the chapatis, and the like, okay? That fat, what does it do? When it goes to your body, whatever you eat goes to the stomach, isn't it? It is digested, and then it is absorbed into the blood vessels. The blood is the transporter of everything. So it transports nutrients and oxygen, all right? So that fat you eat goes also to the blood. And then a blood vessel is like a tube, isn't it? And inside there is space that we call the lumen. So that fat is deposited around the lumen. And with the time, that fat becomes hard, all right? Normally, a blood vessel is elastic. I hope we are communicating. It is elastic. So when your heart beats, it pushes the blood, okay? It beats so that, the heart will open itself. It gets the blood and pushes it out through the blood vessels. So those blood vessels, they are elastic in such a way that they have to keep on expanding and contracting as they push the blood all the way to the extremities. So when these blood vessels harden, okay, they don't cooperate anymore. And when they don't cooperate, then the heart will work alone. That means you develop what? High blood pressure. The same fat will make your blood vessel very narrow. It narrows the blood vessel and weakens it and hardens it, all right? So that lumen becomes very small and very narrow. So the amount of blood that normally goes through that vessel is reduced. The volume of the blood is reduced. But the heart is still trying as much as possible to push the blood. The blood has a lot of things in it, all right? It has things called platelets. When that narrows, especially, you know there are veins. Veins have corners, like the vein that comes like this. There is a corner there, there is a corner there, okay? So in those corners especially, those fats are more concentrated than in other parts. So that blood is usually pressed. When it is pressed, the platelets, they join together, and they form what we call the clots, okay? Which are not very good, blood clots, all right? If that clot goes and blocks the vein, you get what is called the stroke, okay? Yes. That is now how that pressure of the fat develops the blood pressure. Then there is salt. Salt, I know men, I don't know whether church men love salt, but I know especially the men who drink. I don't know whether they lose their taste buds or what happens. There are men, once you give them food, even before they taste, they ask for salt. And they do like this. That is called salt assault. Yes, you assault the salt. That salt you take, a lot of it. If I give each one of you a pinch of salt and you lick that salt, what will you be looking for immediately? You will be looking for water, okay? Because now the blood has received a lot of salt. So water will be drawn to your blood to increase the blood volume. The blood volume will be increased and pressure will go high, because now water must go to the blood to dissolve that salt and to remove it, all right? The same salt makes your blood vessels rigid, that hardening, okay? All right, that salt. So again, the blood pressure comes in because your veins will not be expanding and contracting. All right, then there is the sugar. Na hapa tuko wengi, si ndio? Today I've come with the sugar. We have to do something with the sugar today, okay? So sugar is, we have many types of sugar, all right? Soda is sugar, all right? Sweets are sugars, the ones we buy for our kids. Biscuits, cakes, the sugar we use for our tea. The carbohydrates are sugars, all right? Yes, and sugar, when you take, like, let's say, for example, you take a diet that is very high in sugar. There is something called insulin. Insulin is a hormone that balances your sugar in the body. It is produced, and it depends on how much sugar you have taken, okay? So it will cause something we call hyperinsulinemia. It will remove a lot of insulin. And if you continue consuming those high sugars, that insulin becomes resistant. All right? And that insulin works with a lot of things in the body. It will also cause the things that cause your veins to dilate and to contract. It will make them harden. It will remove those things. There is something called magnesium that is usually a dilator. And when the insulin is resistant, it is usually released through the urine. So it is removed. So your veins will not dilate. All right? And then, on the other side, there is something called nitric oxide that is a vasoconstrictor. It makes your blood vessels to, even that one will not be there. So there will the veins will just be there. They are not cooperating anymore. And that will lead to high blood pressure. And again, when that insulin is resistant, you will develop diabetes. Okay? That's how those three diseases occur. Of course, there are other causes like stress. If you are so much stressed, you'll find you are so much anxious, you can get diabetes and you can get hypertension. All right? So now, the fact that we are receiving so many, even as young as 25 years, with hypertension these days, with diabetes, it is too much. Before we used to know diabetes is for the older generation, but today is the order of the day. Cancers are rising. The red meats, the ones that you love a lot, men, they have chemicals that are carcinogenic, meaning they cause cancer. Processed meats are the worst, the sausages, the brawns, the bacons, such processed meats are very high in sodium and very high in nitrates that cause cancer, and also the what I have explained about the blood vessels. All right? So we need, then, I usually you see like you have a small child, isn't it? The one who walks. I don't know what happened to porridge, what happened to milk. Babies used to be given porridge. Unaona mama akienda anabeba nini? Uji na maziwa, or maybe yogurt. But these days, what do they carry? They carry sausages, they carry those carbonated drinks, okay, the juices, very high in sugar. Can you imagine now that what I have explained, and a child who is 1 year and 2 years old is what they are consuming. And you know, when you teach a child to eat such food, they will never eat normal food. I don't expect a child to eat a sausage and take a soda and then to eat bananas, cooked bananas, or the jahes. They are calling them the hardware food these days, okay? Then my question is, are these people aware what they are feeding their children with? What happens to terere? What happened to kunde? What happened to kahorora? To angeeni? Because now, you are the one who speak in these families, okay? We get these mothers with very, very malnourished babies. The mother looks good, hair is well done, dressing code is good, so it is not the issue of lack, okay? It's only the issue of information is poor and time is not there. Weetabix, I'm sure there are men who buy them in boxes here for your babies. But have you ever even read the box? Weetabix is for what age? Because it is written. Some are written for young adults, okay? Because it is just high in fiber. You can take Weetabix, okay? It's very high in fiber. But for that, it is not nutritionally adequate for a baby. But that is what babies are being fed on. You see even mothers doing biscuit with milk, and that is food, and a baby goes to sleep. All that sugar, all that trans fat that we are talking about is fed to those little young babies. The other thing, the expectant women, now because you are the husband, what are they asking for when they are pregnant? You know they blame the baby inside, don't they? Wanasema mtoto anaitisha samosa, si ndio? Anaitisha sausage, anaitisha chips, na keki, na soda. Do you know how many prematures we are getting? There. Babies with deformities, a lot. Ask Hope. Hope is a member of this church. She is the one who works in the NBU. And she told me to tell men about that, because I asked her what is happening there. And she told me to tell you not to overwork, to let them overwork, because it also brings those issues of prematures. You see, a woman feels still strong, working a lot, doing a lot of things, and she's still pregnant. Okay? The nutrition part of it is a problem. Can you imagine somebody who is taking chips every day and soda with a baby inside? You need to remember that is a human being, all right? A human being who may be very great, who needs to be very healthy. And you are responsible, you, the father and the mother. What the mother eats during pregnancy determines the kind of baby that will come out. We have seen babies coming with brain issues, mental issues, because of lack of some vitamins. Okay? And that, vitamins and minerals, we call them micronutrients. They enter into the body microscopically, but they cause unrepairable damages. If you find somebody or a child with deformed bones, you can never straighten them. If you give birth to a baby who has cretinism, you can never change it. Can you? You can't. So they cause, and those are the ones that are found in the vegetables, in the fruits, the ones that we are not giving. Buy a blender in the house. Buy fresh fruits. Let them do those juices. Let your children not even know they are sweeter juices than the fresh fruit, because a child grows the way you bring her up. True or false? Yes, that's how a child grows. If you show her that the best thing is the fresh fruit juice, that's how the baby will grow. That's how the child will grow. All right? Yes. Do you know what your teenagers are eating? We have them in the college, see? A lot of them. I observe them. We have a lot of them in the hospital who are on attachment. We have KMTC there. There is a shop there. They eat something called smocha. Do we have a teenager here? Yes. You know what is smocha? Yes. You can tell us what is a smocha? Yes. Yes. Okay? It is smoky inside, covered with chapati. And they usually do double chapati. And they can put even the tomato sauce. Okay? That's what they eat. There is somebody who is making a lot of money there in the hospital. And they are all over. You don't even know where they make these chapatis. And that is what they eat daily. Have we talked about the salt? That smoky is very, very high in salt. It is also a processed meat. Has a lot of those nitrates we are talking about that are carcinogenic. And these are the people we are expecting to be our leaders of tomorrow. They are the girls who are expecting to give birth tomorrow. So now that you are fathers, please watch out of these people. Because if you teach your daughter or your son the best nutrition, the best food, even when they go out there, they know, all right? They know what is right. They know the health foods. They understand. What happens to the tradition foods? How many people here can eat ugali ya kisiagi? Yes. I'm happy to see. Because now, that one is good. You see, ugali ya kisiagi has the husk, okay? And around that part is where the best nutrients are, even for men. You know something called zinc, very good for men. So when you eat whole grains, you have zinc enough, all right? But now we are going to the one that tutafanya hivi kidogo na chakula imeiva. True or false? Yes. Can you eat a brown chapati? Yes. If you can be able to eat, as men are known not to eat fruits. Sijui kama ni ukweli. So when I get a chance and I meet them in the hospital, I ask them, the fact that you don't eat fruits, is it that you are not usually served with the fruits? Or is it that you don't like fruits? Or you say fruits are for the babies and for the women, all right? But eat fruits, men. Eat fruits. Fruits are good. Make your immunity. They will give you avocado. Better use avocado with bread than bluebird. All right? Yes, avocado is not for babies and women. They are very high in zinc. All right? Yes. Let's eat these things. Let's eat good foods. Let's watch out for our expectant wives, for our babies, and for our teenage. They need a lot of iron. They need a lot of calcium. All right? They are growing. They are developing. All right? So let them teach what are the importance of veggies. I think maybe when we have the teenage conference, we can also talk to them about nutrition because they are the most affected and they have pocket money. Do they even eat in the house? Si muko na wao? What do they eat in the house? And when it comes to breakfast, how many slices of bread per one? Yes, even if you allow a whole bread, he will take it with bluebird. And how many cups of tea? Yes, 2, 3. And how much sugar in 1 cup? How many teaspoons? 3 spoons, okay? Yes, and we will try to measure that sugar and we see how much it is, okay? Maybe for 1 day, the much sugar that you take. You know, the worst thing about sugar, once you put it in tea, you can't see it. It dissolves. And you just take it and you forget that you have taken the sugar and you go, okay? So we need to look at these diets. We have variety of vegetables. Mount Kenya region, we are blessed, isn't it? We have a lot. By the way, even if you want blender, you can get it in Makogeni market. The Luya ones, the Mtoos, all of them are there. Tereres, Kahurora, zile za Marenge, they are good. Don't just eat cabbage. Siyo ndio tunakula. Cabbage, sukuma wiki, the ones that are grown with a lot of pesticides, okay? These days we have broccoli. It is very high in vitamin C. I wish people took it during COVID-19 season, but they only ate lemons, okay? We have cauliflowers. They are there. We have meshiri. Meshiri is very good vegetables, okay? We have a lot of things that we can eat. Fruits. What type of fruit can't you get in Mount Kenya region? Apart maybe from the very expensive, like the kiwis, those ones not many people can afford. But for those who can afford, you can take. But even if you can't afford, eat. Even if it is guavas, za 50 bob ni nyingi sana, si ndio? Mapera, the berries, kuna hata the wild berries, okay? They are all over there, especially in the village. Mangoes, when mangoes are there, eat. When oranges are, and even if the children are finishing for you, eat there in the market. Si ndio? Oshewa moja, katakatiwa, eat. Because you need them. All right? You need them. And now, about these 2 diseases that I was talking about, I said they are not painful. True or false? They are not painful. You don't feel anything. You are just there. You are doing your things. They are bringing a lot of kidney failure. Because now, what I have still explained, the blood will not be able to go. It destroys the veins. The veins around the kidneys. And they are not able to supply the nutrients and the oxygen. So your kidney fails. Unfortunately, for diabetes and hypertension, the kidney fails gradually. Gradually, okay? You can even stay for 3 or 5 years with kidney failure and you don't know. Because you have millions of nephrons, okay? Until now, like 70% of your kidney is gone, is when you start seeing the signs. Unaanza kufura miguu, macho, unaanza kutapika, nausea, hiccups, things that you can't understand. You are very tired. You wake up tired. You sleep tired. You don't want anything. You don't want any type of food. All these signs now start coming out. By that time, we cannot save that kidney. You have now to live on dialysis. All right? And now when you go to that now level of kidney failure, now that becomes now serious. All right? And I'm not saying that people who get diabetes and hypertension are the poor feeders. Don't take me wrong, okay? It is a disease, and sometimes, and by the way, age is a risk factor, old age, when you are over 60, okay? It is a risk factor. Whether you are eating well or not, you can get such diseases, all right? Tunaelewana? So when you get kidney failure now, everything else, it affects every system of the body, every system. I work in the dialysis unit currently. This month alone, I have 6. And by the time I was leaving, I was told there are 2 newly diagnosed in the ward. Tuko tarehe ngapi leo? 14th. Is it that not alarming? It is. Men, women, I don't know what is happening with diabetes, hypertension, okay? Young people, drugs, a lot of alcohol. See, they are taking even in high school. By the time a man is 21, has taken all types of drinks and all types of drugs, the kidney fails. Now you start dialysis. This time now we have to stop almost everything. You have to eat food that is cooked differently. We have to stop you from drinking water, what you tell you when you are healthy to drink, because the kidney will not remove that water. And when you take a lot of it, it goes even to the lungs. You can't breathe. You can't walk when you cannot breathe, okay? A lot of things are happening. But I think we can help each other, okay? We can try to save. We can talk to these young people. If you tell these young people about the sausages, and I'm not saying you should not eat, all right? Eat once for fun. Food can be eaten for fun, for nourishment, for celebration. Even when you are getting the dowry, you have to sip some soda, So I'm not like, I'm saying you should not take, but take in moderation, all right? Even these sausages, take. Even me, I eat chips. Ukinipata casket, utauliza, ule ni Elizabeth, with a whole plate. Because sometimes I crave for them, but I don't eat them daily, okay? It's once enough. When I am feeling I need to treat myself, I go get that chicken, okay? Yeah. And chicken is not bad. Fish is not bad. But Kikuyus do eat fish. So many Kikuyus, especially the elderly, don't eat fish. I have realized that. Wanasema inanuka vibaya. But it is one of the best, very rich in omega-3. Nilisema sitaki kumention tribes, lakini which tribe has the most intelligent people in Masomo? Yes. Okay, the Lake region. What do they eat? Fish has a lot of omega-3, which helps in growth of brain cells, all right? Then, when your child is going to school, sikuna school going, the young ones, CBC, what do they eat for breakfast? Sikuna wenye hawakuli hata. Mama anasema huyu mtoto anakataa. Amsha mtoto mapema. Do what you do for that child to eat. Because if they don't eat, how will they concentrate? And they must eat a carbohydrate in the morning. That part must be there because it is the one that brings out glucose. Okay? Glucose is the only, the brain. Your brain only uses glucose for energy. There are so many other sugars in the body, but your brain does not use any other sugar. Na najua mko na wives nyumbani wenye wanaenda huko out, they get funny information, sidio? They are only taking detox. Hakuna starches, sidio? How do you expect such a person even to be productive at work when there is no glucose in the brain? Okay? So if you want your child to be bright, even look at what they eat. Some of them don't fail because of they are not intelligent or their IQs are not high enough. It's only because of what they are fed of. And if you want to know the truth, look at those regions like the Garissa, the Moyale, the Wajir. Do they take them in university with the same grade they take us? You can do medicine direct with a C+ if you did your exam in Garissa or Moyale. I'm not communicating. Yes, because for them, kwa sababu ya kupata those A's, it's not easy for them. So ukiweka mtoto JAL, how will they perform in class? Even the teenagers, they are the ones who go to class without breakfast. True or false? Because they wake up 30 minutes to class time. They go to the bathroom 10 minutes to prepare themselves, 10 minutes enough, akibia shule na 20 minutes ameketi. So they don't have time for breakfast. Then at 10, they go for smochers. The one he has explained. True or false? At 10. So, hiyo class ya kwanza, na inakuanga hesabu in most cases. Sindio? Zile gumu ndio wanaekaga, the chemistry, the mathematics in campus. Si kuna watu wako campus? Hapa. That's what they bring in the morning hours. So how will they concentrate without any breakfast? All right? So what we eat, something else, water, maji. How much water do you take in a day? Every person should take at least 2 liters. At least, okay? So you can take more. It's okay. So it is at least 2 liters. How much have you taken from morning? Especially now that it is very hot. Did you know that you're not supposed to feel thirsty? See, there is a way you feel thirsty and you take 2 cups of. That means your body is getting dehydrated. That is why you are feeling thirsty. Yes, the pastor has already started, okay? Yeah, so you should not feel thirsty. You should keep sipping water throughout the day. Unfortunately, men don't like carrying bottles. Now that is a challenge. Okay? If possible, when you wake up in the morning, before you eat anything, take like 2 glasses. You can take it warm, you can take it cold, the way you like it. All right? And then you stay for 45 minutes before you take anything else. That is a detox. Okay? It will detoxify a lot. You will go to short core a lot in the morning, and that is healthy. It is okay. If you go to the washroom and you look at your, it is good, by the way, to look at your urine. Okay? See the color. Yes. If it is deep yellow, something is wrong. You are not taking a lot of water. All right? If it is at least clear, almost you are taking enough water. If it is dark brown, something is wrong. If it is cloudy or foamy, infection, there could be even proteins in the urine, which means the kidney has issues. All right? So don't just go. And you know, men, you have a smaller bladder than women. Okay? That's why men always start along the way. See ati nikupenda, some blame them, okay? But your bladder is smaller than for the ladies. A lady can stay for a longer time. Unajua ikijaa, the urge will come, okay? So wherever you are, unasimama na unamaliza, sindio? But don't fear to take water, because you see, I always tell people, when there is no rain, like now, if you plant maize, sisi wantu wanasema zinakaa vitunguu, sindio? But if rain comes just one night, tomorrow, how do they look like? So naambia watu, you can be like that maize from inside and you don't know. Okay? So take a lot of water. And water should not be replaced by juices, by sodas, by other drinks. Water is water. Plain water. So if you don't take water, anza sasa. Okay? It will help you in future. Okay? It will make your blood to flow. Something else I want to mention. I want to mention something called fiber. Fiber. What is fiber? Najua in the hospital we use layman's language. Tunasema ni mauzi. You know, fiber ni mauzi, si ndio? What foods that are high in fiber? The vegetables are very high in fiber, okay? The fruits are high in fiber. The whole grains are high in fiber, all right? And they are very important. These fiber are very important because they make your bowel to move easily, okay? We have two types of fiber. There is the soluble fiber and there is the insoluble fiber. Fiber is that the one you go for the ronco. That is what fiber is. And you know very well, there are some foods you eat, you feel like you have the urge, okay? But when you go there, it's like nothing is coming. True or false? Depending on what you have eaten. There is some food you eat, and when you go there, you even relax. True or false? Yes. Like when you eat mokimo. Not the town mokimo, by the way. Unajua watu wameharibu. People are trying to make everything the way they want. Okay? Sidio? Yes. So you find mokimo in hotel is a lot of potatoes. There is, you can feel one maize. Okay? And whatever the greens are, may be powder. Okay? Or food color, the green. Sorry for the food color, it's also not good. Okay? Yes. So when you go and get those marege leaves, the pumpkin leaves, and you do that mokimo, the one that our shoshos make there, and you go to the washroom, how do you feel? You feel very well. You don't have to struggle. All right? But when you eat rice and potatoes, okay, you have to struggle. All right? So fiber is very important. Okay? There's the fiber that comes from beans, berries, cucumbers, nuts. It slows the digestion of carbohydrates. Okay? We said carbohydrates are the ones that give us glucose. All right? So when it slows that digestion, it means that your sugar will not go very high. It will not spike. That's why the people who have diabetes, we tell them to eat high fiber foods so that their sugar will be removed slowly by slowly. It will not have to be spiked. Okay? Yes, so it helps a lot in that. Then it makes you feel full longer. What is the importance of feeling full for a longer time? When you feel full for a longer time, it means there's something we call, as nutritionists, we call grazing. Grazing, okay? Like when you don't, by the way, I should talk about breakfast. When you don't take breakfast, you have to graze a lot before you get something good to. I know the church people fast. Sidio? I also do fast. When you are fasting, you can smell food from very far. True or false? Because your body is kind of, even for food that you don't like, utasikia kama unakravia, sidio? Yeah, mtu akipika chapati the other side of the road, you are likely to smell when you are here, when you are fasting. So the same thing, why do we have breakfast? Breakfast is to break the fast. You have been fasting from last night all the way. So breakfast, you are breaking a fast. So some people don't break the fast. They continue. And they are going to work. When do you work a lot? In the morning hours. All right? It's when you are very active. It's when you burn a lot of calories. It's when you are productive, even in your company. Ukiwa uko na kampuni yako and you realize your workers don't eat breakfast, you can even fire them because they will bring a loss in the company, okay? So this fiber makes you feel full for a longer time, so you will not go eating those junks we are talking about. There is no way you will be hungry and crave for an orange. You crave for what? chips, cakes, sodas, such things, because your body is asking for sugar. Okay? So you find that when you have not eaten, or when you eat food that has no fiber, unasikia njaa haraka. Kuna men wanasemaga mchele ni maji. Have you heard them saying that? Kama wale wa mjego. Nasemaga hiyo ni because their work is, ama mtu wa mkokoteni. Mtu wa mkokoteni huwezi mpatia mchele. Atasema hiyo ni maji. They have to eat heavy food because their work, they burn a lot of calories, okay? So this fiber makes you feel full for a long time, and that will prevent you from going eating those junks all along, okay? Hutapata samosa ukule kwa njia. Hutapata hiyo keki ukule. Hutanunua sweets kwa njia ukikula. Ladies, sisi ndio watu wa sweet sana, si ndio? Than men. But pia man atakunywa hiyo soda, and I like the way they take it just once like that. Na anaekelea chupa na anaenda. See, that's what men do. Unameza na unaenda. Not knowing that you have just spiked your glucose at very high. Your insulin has been produced highly at that moment, okay? So it makes you full longer for, like is it okay if you wake up in the morning, ukaragiwe kamokimo? Will you eat? Unajua wanatuambiaga men don't eat breakfast. And I ask them, is it that they don't eat breakfast? Or is it because of the kind of breakfast that they are given? See, they buy mandazi. Wacha tuwaongee juu hawako, ni mimi tu niko, si ndio? See, they buy hata mandazi in the morning, a whole pack, and they bring for you to eat with tea. Can a man get satisfied with mandazi 2 or 3 and go to work? Then, if men don't eat food in the morning, hawa wamama napataga kwa barabara at 8 wakipika mokimo na chapati. Nani wanakuaga wameketi huko? Men. Then why do they say that men don't eat breakfast? Eat breakfast, okay? Eat good. Eat githeri in the morning. Eat mokimo. It will make you jump that junk, okay, that we are talking about. If you get your ngwashes, your domas, bring those food back, okay? I know they are expensive. But when you start buying them, they will grow them. Sidio? Zikuwe nyingi. And they will become cheaper. Sidio? Okay? Yes. Let's go back to the mokimo. Let's go back to yams. Now they have brought back the cassavas. Sidio? But how are they making it? They are deep frying. Yes, it is good. It is traditional. But when you deep fry, you destroy it. All right? So boil it and eat it like that. Okay? Yes, you know the funny thing about food, the most nutritious foods are not sweet. Sio tamu. True or false? Boga sio tamu. But they are very important. What we call traditional vegetables, does anybody plant them? Si mvua inanyeshaga zinamea. Me, I always think maybe God dropped them with the rain because they are the best. They will never harm you, okay? That's why they are called traditional or indigenous, okay? They are healthy and they are good. But you find people in the village, they have them, but they still go for cabbage and sukuma in the market. But they are very important, all right? Yes, so they also help you control your blood sugar, like I have explained. Then we have what we call the insoluble fiber, the one that comes from now, the dark green vegetables. They add bulk to your stool. They add bulk to your stool. You know your stool? Ndio itoke vizuri. Na ikue mingi itoke vizuri. They add bulk. And that is also healthy. You cannot get hemorrhoids if you are eating that high fiber. Okay? So it will help you very well to pass your stool. Okay? And when you eat a lot of vegetables and fruits, you will have them. So they make that food and the waste to flow in your GIT easily. Okay? Sawa sawa? Yes. So men, let's eat breakfast, a heavy one, so that we don't go eating. Let your children, let your teenagers eat good breakfast. Breakfast is not bread. And I want us to do a small calculation. One slice of bread, one slice of bread has about 80 kilocalories. Now we are doing it for the teenager, okay? It has about 80. They eat like how many? A teenager, 4. Not less than 6, Sidio. They eat 4 because there are other people who are eating bread. But if you allow them, they can even eat the whole bread, okay? So multiply that by 6. They apply Bluebird, okay? They do apply Bluebird. Bluebird, at a tablespoon, has like 40 kilocalories per 2 slices. So for 6 slices, they will use 3. So say 40 times 3. We said they take how many cups of tea with that bread? 3. And 1 cup has 3 spoons, teaspoons of sugar, okay? 1 teaspoon is 20 kilocalories. So per cup, they take 60. So 3 cups is 60 times 3. How much are you getting? So how much? Sorry? 780. And this teenager needs like 2,000 kilocalories per day. 780 is a lot, yet ajashiba. By 10, that child will be looking for something. There's something we call empty calories. Empty calorie is food that only gives you, what it gives you is just sugar. Most of what you are getting from it is sugar and fat only, okay? So those calories, yes, they are many, lakini vitamins na minerals. Yet, we are talking over a teenager. Then I had the lunch, akule smocha. Are we communicating? Yes. So I want us to do, I need a younger person anisaidie. Here. Andrew, unisaidie tu. Ama umekuja sawa. It's okay. So, I want you to put 3 spoons of sugar there. So that you are able to. So how many? 3. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Another 3. Another 3. There are people who love sugar, Sidio. There are people even who put 4, even older people. That is what that teenager uses on a breakfast alone, okay? So how many cups of tea, lovers of tea, Wanatumia ngapi kwa siku? Especially the people who don't love water. They take a lot of tea. Okay? Yes. These are for the teenager, just breakfasts alone. So, akikunywa mara 3, hivyo, this glass will be full. And that is just empty calorie, has nothing else other than sugar. Okay? Now, maybe you as a man, you don't take a lot. But in the morning, you take 2 cups. Sidio? Mnajua the cup I'm talking about? The cup you get in the restaurant, ile ya $2.50 for 1 glass. You put how many? 2. So if you've taken 3, this is what you use. But I know you take more throughout the day. So some people take 10. 10 cups, sio mingi, sinira kakikombe. Unakunywa 2 saa 4 2, after lunch 2 saa 10 2, hizo ni ngapi? 8. If you put 2 sugars, uweke hapa. How much sugar have you taken? Yes, a whole glass of sugar. Hiyo sukari inaenda kusaidia mwili ama kuharibu? Kuharibu. I'm not saying you should not take sugar, but be aware of how much sugar you are taking. The older you get, the lesser the sugar you should take. All right? The young people, what I burn. Unfortunately, mishipa inakuwa affected slowly. That's why we are getting these diseases at very young age. 40s are very many. 40s, diabetes, hypertension, they are very many currently. They need to do a current research or report on it. Okay? So, that is what we are talking. So the empty calories are those, the cakes, the sweets. I don't know where I'm touching this thing. It's making noise. The kind of calories you take are very important. There's something we call nutrient-dense foods. Those are the foods that give you less calories, but a lot of other nutrients like the vitamins and the minerals. The like of the fruits, the vegetables, they are nutrient-dense. There are also some things we call the healthy snacks. Instead of going to take a cake or a mandazi, you can take or sweets. Unaweza kula like a handful of jugu karanga, it's better. Okay? The cashew nuts. I know some of them are expensive, but some of you here can afford them. Even teach your children to eat them. Okay? I like the Western people. They eat a lot of those things, the jugu karangas and the likes. I said you can use avocado for bread. It will be healthier than when you use bluebird or jam. Okay? Yes. You can even add those nuts in your breakfast plate. Okay? And they will help you. When you eat fruits, there are fruits that our bishop says he doesn't like, the one you eat with seeds. Okay? Because you eat even the seed that you're supposed to grow tomorrow. When you eat such fruits, make sure you chew the seeds. If you don't chew, ukienda lonko, inatoka, hata ikipandwa itamea. You know the way boys in the village steal passion fruits, and they go and do their thing in the shamba, utapata zimemea, because the top cover of the seed is not digestible. So when you just swallow it, you leave what is important inside the seed. Seeds are very high in zinc. I said zinc is very good for men. Okay? So you crush them. When you eat melon, don't throw away the seed. Crush it. Okay? Pumpkin seeds. These days, kuna uji imetokea, si ndio? Men are really going after it. Unaambiwa iko na muhogo, sijui iko na nini. But my question is, utapata mtu ako na gunia ya hiyo uga, si ndio? Hii mihogo yenye imejaa gunia. Are you believing it is mihogo peke yake? Very little, si ndio? Kula muhogo, chemsha muhogo huku. If you get your own pumpkin seeds and you can dry them, roast them, and take to the posho mill, it is better. Okay? Very high in zinc. Tuko pamoja? But watu wamekuwa wajaja. Na hiyo uji unauziwa 50 shillings 1 cup, si ndio? Unaambiwa iko na mihogo, sijui iko na mbegu za marege. How much mbegu za marege can fill a whole gunia of? Najua ni vizuri pia kujiulizaga some things. Don't just take things because unasikia ziko hivi na hivi. But you can make yours. Si ndio? You can make your own flour. You can make your own seeds and roast them. Eat sim-sim. You know sim-sim? Yeah, those are healthy snacks. You can go eating them. Seeds, such seeds are good. Eat popcorns. They are good, very high in fiber. They are whole grains. Si ndio? Ukisikia sasa umesikia jaa and you want something to bite, you can buy popcorns. You can buy jugu karanga. You can buy cashew nuts. Yes? All right? Those are better and they are healthier. Okay? So I think with that, I've exploited what I wanted to say unless there is a question. Any question or something? Yes? He is asking? Smocha is? Yes. Smoky is unhealthy. You can eat once for fun, but it is not a daily thing. Very high in sodium, very high in carcinogens. Yes, it is affordable, yes, but it is not very. Enda ukikula jugu karanga. Okay? Yes. Yeah, better. And popcorns. Okay? Yes. You can eat akamandazi once in a. It's not like you should not eat, but eat in moderation. And being aware of what you are eating. Increase vegetables in your plate. Okay? Let every meal have equal vegetables. Okay? Every meal. And vegetables are many. Even the carrots, the courgettes, the cucumbers, those are vegetables, the piri hohos, all those. You can even if you get bored of the leaves, one day you can do the courgettes and carrots, tomatoes, and you mix them like that, and they are good. Okay? Those are the kind of things you get in restaurants, and you like them. All right? Yes. Another thing, it is also good to observe the way food is being cooked. Ama sio vibaya, do you go to the kitchen? You see, we hear a lot of things about men. Ukifunza mama vile anafaa kukaranga chakula pale kwa sufuria, they tell you, my husband anatakaga hiyo kitunguu ime turn brown. Si ndio? When you put oil and onion kwa sufuria, si hiyo mafuta kwanza inapiga makelele. Then if you continue heating, inanyamaza. And the next thing you see is smoke. Si ndio? If you see smoke in fat, even if you had used the best, imeharibika. It has become trans fat. So don't ask for that brown kitunguu because mafuta itakuwa imeharibika. All right? And that is why we are discouraging deep fried foods because, of course, that mafuta is trans fat. It has overheated. Okay? That chapati you like boiling on oil. There is a way you can make chapatis unapaka mafuta bila kuachilia itoe that much smoke, okay? And it will be good. That ukienda hata kwa hoteli sikuna chapati inakuwa haina mafuta. You eat, you choose what you want. People don't know what that means. They just wonder hii ni chapati inakaa aje, and they pass it. Si ndio? Yes. So the way you cook that kitunguu, puguza moto kabisa. Don't let the fat to smoke because imeharibika. That's what we are calling trans fat. That overheated fat. Ndio hiyo inaenda kuload kwa the blood vessels. Sawa sawa. So if you know you ask for that golden kitunguu, please. And that is why when people go out where there is a feast, kuna watu wanakula pilau, unakula nini, unapata stomach issues. unapata a lot of flatulence kwa sababu the brown color you see in pilau ni kitunguu inakuaga imeungua. There are people who know how to make the real pilau with tomato paste. Tomato paste is very expensive, si ndio? So kienyeji tunapika kitunguu inaungua. That is what makes the rice to look brown, the brown color. Na that is why inaharibikia watu cause mafuta ili smoke ama ili overheat. Tuko pamoja. So the way unafurahishwa na hiyo brown rice. Remember, you know, I'm sorry to say, somebody, the husband got diabetes. Akaenda kwa hospitali ya private. There is no dietitian there, so it is the cook who makes. So alikuwa anaugusha kitunguu, juu anasikiaga diabetic wanakula brown rice. So she thought the color is what we mean, but it is the fiber we talk about when we say brown. Very unfortunate, and it is in a hospital. So the sugar could never go down. And you are still adding that transfer to a person who is already in trouble. Are we communicating? Yes. So, my friend, yes? Very good question. Actually, somebody had sent them, a member of this church, ananiuliza jana usiku kama atumie. Unfortunately, I'm a clinical person, okay? And the issue, I have no issue with those supplements, but the problem with them, the ones that comes from like the GNLD, those, yes, they don't have the amount. They don't give us, like if you say it has a vitamin A, how much of it, okay? If they say it has calcium, how much of it? If they say it has the other one, how much of it? That's the issue here. Us, we deal with calculations. So we have supplements that are medical that we use. So if you come to me and you want to be supplemented, I'll prescribe to you what I know the content is. Now, have you noted that with these things that are coming up, ndio magonjwa zimekuwa mingi? Have you noted that? Because now, you find somebody taking such a supplement na ameambiwa iko na calcium. Yet, this person has no calcium deficiency. All right? So you take a lot of calcium and you don't even know how much. So I even wonder, how do they prescribe? Akikwambia take one capsule, na hajui what is inside that capsule. So for me, as a dietitian, I cannot prescribe to you such. But if you come to me, I have very good ones. If I want to give you this much of calorie, this much of protein, this much of selenium, zinc, iodine, what, I can do that very well. But for those ones, they have the amount. So I don't know how much I can give you, unfortunately. They even try to bring them to the hospital. But we cannot use them in the hospital because as we are prescribers, and we don't prescribe something that doesn't have amount. So if you are taking calcium and you have no more, it is dangerous. By the way, minerals should not be taken by somebody who has enough. If you don't have a deficiency, you should not take minerals because some of them, they even destroy the heart, like calcium, in a load. Hata kwa hizo blood vessels, ukiovereat. The ones in supplements, okay? Yes. So for me, I can't prescribe for you those, but when you come to me, I can prescribe for you the ones that I know the contents and the amount of the contents, which work wonders, by the way. You know, there are people who don't eat, very sick. They use NG tubes, okay? Others use the veins, even centralized, the ones, their digestive is not working. So we feed them via the veins, the main veins, okay? Those ones, we know what is there. You can't give, you have to even put it on the wall and show how much you are giving. So that even when the doctor comes, he will see. how much and why you are giving that much calorie, depending on the condition. Okay? So you can even use such supplement. The only one we cannot now use on you is the intravenous one and the centralized ones. That one, when you are walking like this, or you are feeding via mouth, we cannot give. But even for the NG, we can give you can drink, you can, especially if you have been sick and you have lost weight, you want to regain your weight, or you have had immunity issues, like those people who have like HIV, we have good ones, cancers, we have good ones that we can prescribe. But for the ones that are from those worlds, unfortunately, for me, I can't prescribe because they don't usually have the. You can be told it has calcium, it has this vitamin, this, but they don't write the amounts. That's the issue. So I don't want to give you more than what is recommended, and I don't want to give you less than what I can give. Okay? Depending on your condition. As we treat, those ones, they are just giving for anybody. The people who sell them, they have no idea of what health is. They don't understand the physiology and the pathophysiology of the various conditions. So they just tell you, you can take this one. Bora, ununue apate points na pesa. Sidio? Yes. That's the difference now. But if you need supplements, good ones, I will have to assess you. I can't just prescribe. I'll have to assess you and know whether you need them or not. Yes. Yes.
As a dietitian, are you scared about the president bringing back the GMOs to the country and the executive order? Are you scared?
Okay. Yes. For me, I have no issues. Because when I was in class, what we learned about GMOs, okay, I know people say they cause cancers and what, but GMOs, it's only that they make them, genetically they make them in a way they will be either more productive, like you can do a potato, okay? Chini inatoa viazi, juu inatoa tomatoes. That's what I learned. So for me, your science ya maybe being cancer causing, sitadanganya siko na hiyo idea. But that's what we learned. And our lecturer told us GMOs are not bad. They are not bad. Because pahali tumefika as a nation. Maybe now that they have brought that thing, maybe now we can dig deeper and see whether they are good or bad. But from what I learned, there are things that we have not been having in Kenya. Watu wanasemaga, unaona mtu hata akinunua nyanya anasema ni za GMO. We haven't been having GMOs in Kenya. We don't. They have never been allowed here. What we see is maybe grafted or those other things, but GMOs have not been here. So the fact that they have not been here, we have not been so much into them to understand them. But what I learned from class is that GMOs are not bad, but we need to do more research. We have to worry about the future, of course. I don't know whether they are doing any experiments, but I think for them to be allowed to come, they have then to do a lot of research and find out whether they are good or not. Yeah. So I don't also think that we can allow anything just to be coming in Kenya na tuna receive. Okay? Yes. But your science is not that deep. Yeah. Any other question? We will try to find out much about GMOs. And these days, tuko na internet, sidio? We can try and see and dig deeper. But I know kuna hiyo discussion and argument, but we will see. Okay? Yes. So if there is no other question, any other question? Young people questions? Yes. Hereditary, yes. Diabetes and hypertension can be inherited. They run in families, but it is not a must you get. Like now, if you know your family has it, and you can try and control what you eat, try and change your lifestyle, you can do better. It's good, by the way, even to do physical exercise, okay? Try to walk sometimes. The people who drive, sometimes park your car in town and walk to destiny. It is not a crime. It is very okay. I do walk. Even when I'm coming on Wednesday, I always walk to destiny from the hospital. Now sometimes nita pass through town and I come and I walk. It is not a bad. Okay, some people fear, kwani watasema ni sina pesa, you know. And sometimes on Saturdays I walk to home at Sirius. So after church I just walk at home. Because some of us don't have time for much exercise. You have to use it as much as possible. And there are so many things that you can do. Ukistupu hivi unasikia huwezi amka, unajua kuna shida. You need to do some exercise. Yes? Yes? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. By the way, I said that the most responsibility is for men in the family. Because sometimes you are the one who goes to buy food, okay, in the supermarket. So when you go out there, what do you buy? Najua now, the problem with people like me, we observe a lot when we go to the supermarket. You can see a woman or a man with very plump kids following, and then you look at the trolley and see a lot of cakes, a lot of sausages, a lot of brawns, yani, the whole thing is full of junk. Now, because you are the man in that house, with love, okay, you can go and try. You can sit down with your family and discuss, because they will listen to you more. Even the children will listen to the father more than the mother, isn't it? Tunajua mama wanacheza tu na mama. But when you are the father and you sit down with them and now trying and tell them these things that we have learned, and you can even do it in such a way, kama your kids are grown up, some they are bigger, maybe from the age of standard 5, sitio? You teach them what is balanced diet. Then kila mtoto ana come up na diet ya hiyo siku, sitio? So you are the one who is going to give us the diet of today and tell us the importance of that diet, okay? Then you tomorrow, then me, you the father, the other day, then the mother there, and make sure they know why it is important. That is a way of, it's like a game, yes, but it will keep you healthy. When you go to shop, and maybe you go to your wife, just go and, it is also possible to teach your children to eat those things, like the jahes. The older people used to eat baazi, sitio? What happened to those mokimos of baazi, jahe, the one tulikuwa tunakula tukiwa watoto kwa harusi? Can you get them these days? You can't, sitio? So you can go back to those foods. If like for example, ni watoto waambia waandike all the proteins that they know as a list, sitio? And they tell you the benefits. Tell them to write all the vegetables. You teach them like that so that you make it like something simple, okay? Then if it is even in your family and you have a wife, you also guide them on how to buy food, how to eat. By the way, you don't have to make your diet expensive, all right? People think when you're able to buy those sausages and you stock them in the fridge and the bronze, that is when uko na ile life, sitio? Si munaelewa Kenya nasema. But when you go there, even if you will eat that ugaya packet, let the amount of it be kidogo. Let the veggies be a lot, okay? You can also teach them to take water. Unaweza sema asubuhi tutakuwa tunakunywa maji na tuone ni nani atashinda, si ndio? Even if ni the little ones. All right? Yani you come up with good ideas, and when you buy food, you can sit down with them, okay? And tell them this week we will eat this. You can even try and tell them to help you make the timetable of healthy food. Kwa sababu wanasomaga shule, by the way. I was thinking that these days they should put nutrition as a subject in class from standard 1, by the way. It is important because where we are headed to, it is not good. If it is your wife, plan with her. If she is expectant, plan with her what to eat. Let her eat fruits. Let her eat those bananas, cooked, chahes, cassavas, domas, gouaches, all types of veggies. And they are there. They are available, okay? Yes. So you can use all ways that you can do to help them and to help your family. Because you are the one who buy the food, you are the father in the house, you are the provider, the bread winner. You can say it, hatutakuwa tunakula mkate kila siku. One day we will eat bread, another day we will eat sweet potatoes, another day we will eat domas, na ninataka kuona nani atashinda, si ndio? Yes. And also teach them how to take water. Can buy a blender and make fruit juices in the house instead of buying the quenchers. Hizo ndio zina. Kwanza wale wanaenda high school, they carry 5 liters. Si ndio? Na akikuja mid-term, another 5 liters, 10 liters. Na siku hizi wanakuwa shule for how long? 6 weeks with 5 liters of quencher, 10 liters, juu atakuja mid-term mabebe, si ndio? And 2 kilos of bluebird, and drinking chocolate and all those things, and a pack of biscuits. You know the way you shop for them. At least some schools don't allow them, but some don't care. You can carry whatever you can. Some, when I was in school, people used to have 2 boxes, one for food alone, yes, and you used to call them supermarkets. Yeah, when some of us didn't even have a sweet, okay? But we survived. Those days were good. People never used to care about other businesses, not like today. Leo ukipeleka mtoto na wengine wako nayo hana, the child will not care whether you have the money or not. But us, we used to understand. See deal? Yes. So I think there is still something we can do, daktari. Sijui kama nimejibu. Yes, there is still something, a lot we can do as men. All right? Yes. So let's eat the seeds very well, okay? Let's eat avocados. Let's eat fish. It's good. Sawa sawa? Yes. Another question? Yes. No. The gender? No. There is no food that can determine the gender of a child. I haven't heard of that one, unless it is a myth. Yeah. You know, food determines the size and the health of the child. These days, we are getting babies with funny conditions. A child who has intrauterine defects, unapata kuna kitu inaitwa spinal bifida, si ndio? Unapata mgongo haijashikana, so there is a bump here. I know daktari understands what I'm talking. There are so many these days. Prematures. Mtoto itabidi akae kwa incubator for some time before aruhusiwe kutoka. Okay? And that will cost you ile pesa hukutumia kufeed this woman, you'll bring there. So better use it now, okay? Yes? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Mm. Yes. Yes. You know, zinc will bring a stronger sperm, and also zinc will help you. You know, there are people who become impotent, and you go to get those medication. They are just zinc. Okay? So when you eat those seeds I'm talking about and you crush them, they give you that. Even avocado has a lot of it. Things like fish has zinc. Okay? It's very good. It will give you that strong sperm, and of course, you will be strong in sex and all those things. But it will not determine the gender. You know, okay, what you mean is the sex of the baby. Gender is something different. Okay? Gender is about the roles. Okay? There is a difference between sex and gender. What he means is the sex of the child. Yeah. Because now, if you go to Maasai, the work of men is done by women. So gender is mostly about the roles. Yes. So zinc is good. Men, look for zinc. And I'm not saying of zinc as a supplement. If you don't have a deficiency, don't take it as a supplement, but eat those seeds, those sim, those avocados, the ones that maybe you don't like, they will help you. Another thing, it is also your responsibility. I've seen Felix, so I have remembered that, Pastor Felix. I saw her baby breastfeeding, and I was happy. She's a big girl, but she's still breastfeeding. It is also your responsibility of a man, as a man, to decide how long your baby will breastfeed, and it should not be less than 2 years. Okay? Wacha kusema ni mkubwa. Hata akitaka kunyonya 3 years, let the baby breastfeed. There is nothing, that milk is very healthy. Okay? We say at least 2 years. And you have a responsibility here as that is your child. See? Yes. And sorry? 2 babies in 2 years. It's a blessing, eh? 2 babies in 2 years. It's okay. If possible, it's good to give birth after 2 years. The other baby, when the baby is 2 years, then you can give birth. But within that duration, it's not. Now you will deny the other one. Yes, the child, the breasts. Yes, but sometimes it happens. Okay, accidentally. Okay, wacha nistumie that word is not good because God does not make mistakes. But sometimes a baby can come when you have not prepared, and you have no choice. So yes. But it is good to breastfeed a child for 2 good years, at least 2 good years. Yes, so even if you have grandchildren, check how they are. So congratulations, Pastor Felix. Your girl is still breastfeeding, and I saw it, and I was happy. Amen. Yeah, so it's good. It is your responsibility, even to go to clinic. Do men go? Do you know if you take your wife to our place, you know the way we usually have long queues. If you bring your wife doesn't queue. You go direct. So usiogope. If you are available, don't go to private, come to our hospital. Because there you will learn many other things. You will not queue. They try to do that to encourage men to come to clinic because they don't come. They don't know what their babies eat. Okay? They don't know whether they are breastfeeding. Kuna wanaume hata ukimuuliza kama bado kananyonya Hajui wife aliwacha, si ndio? Yes, it's good to be, keep looking. Even the milestones. At what age should your baby sit? And a child should not eat before they are 6 months old. 6 complete months. Okay? Yes. Na hiyo inaletanga shida sana. You find them taking porridge at 1 month, eating popo. I don't know why they love popo when they are very young. At a very young age, the GIT has not developed fully for that baby to digest and to absorb. For 6 months, at least there, even the teeth start coming out to show that time has come for me to start eating other foods, okay? So, and some people say the baby is crying a lot, but nikimfeed the other foods, ananyama. And it is true, the baby will keep quiet. Why? Because a baby uses a lot of energy to digest and to go for long call. Those two things take a lot of energy. You know, hata katoto kadogo kakienda long call, you can tell, kananyamaza, and the baby takes time. True or false? They use a lot of energy. So hata hiyo energy ya kulia, hakuna. It all concentrates to, yes. So it happens, but that is not right, because you are overworking that. You are even overworking the digestive system, na haijafika. Don't even give water, okay? Let the child breathe. If the baby is not getting enough, feed the mother, okay? Feed the mother. Bring that uji, okay? Bring cocoa, bring jahes, bring bananas. Hata ugeshaki urete. Let food be there. Yes. Let her eat the nuts. All of them. The fruits, bring them there. Now for these days, hawataki weight sitio. So they are not even eating when they are pregnant. But when you give birth. But when you give birth, you are not eating for you. You are eating for your baby. And with the time, your baby fat huwa in a shed. Yes. So encourage them. By the way, men, you have a lot of rest. Even for breastfeeding, sometimes the mother is very stressed. The milk is not coming out. You can massage your wife at the back, and the milk will just flow. You have a lot of responsibilities, men, in those young babies. On a serious note, okay? Be there. Make sure that the baby is breastfeeding enough. Take time there when the baby is breastfeeding. Look at the baby. Let the mother cuddle the baby. You know, when a baby is breastfeeding, the baby is usually in intimacy. Okay? Ukiangalia huyo mtoto, after the way they close their eye, the things they do when they are, it is intimacy. They feel very nice. And then wewe, unakuja unaleta madizi, so that the baby will not breastfeed enough. Then you start even creating a distance between you and the mother. It brings a very good bond. And for you, the father, please look for that bond as early as that time. A baby of 3 months old knows the mother. 3 months. And if the father is close, they know the father. They can be able to tell, this one I don't know, this one I know. True or false? Another thing, when you start feeding your baby at 6 months, all right, the baby starts to feed. That baby will not live on that. Unapata mtoto wako mwaka bado anabrediwa chakula. A big boy is very wrong, okay? When the baby is 9 months, that baby does not like that food that is so soft. True or false? And that is why you find them correcting what is on the floor. See, they correct things on the floor and put in the mouth. Because now the age they are in, they don't like that thing. And they can be able to tell your food does not look like. And babies at that age, they are very stressed. Okay? They are usually stressed because it is the time they start crawling. See, dear? Akienda kugusa hiyo maji yako, unamkataza. Akienda kugusa thermos, unaruka, si ndio? That's why if they get a chance, wapate uga, umeweka mahali, what do? They pour? Do they leave it there? They have to scatter, they have to make sure, they have to enjoy it now that you are not there to stop them. Okay? You need to understand their psychology also. All right? They need this freedom. They are wondering, why are you using such a nice cup? And mine is green or blue always. My bowl is one color, red. The one that was bought at 6 months is the one that I'm using. And when you dare put your food in their mouth like this, how do they do? Sidio? Because ni tamu, imekarangwa. I don't know who told people that baby food haifai kuwa na imekarangwa. Inafaa kukarangwa na iwekwe a little salt. Na iwekwe carrot, na iwekwe nyanya, just like for between you and baby, who is growing? So who should eat good food? It's the baby. So anaona yako iko na carrots, it has some greens for the hoho and courgette and white. Yake, it is just that green thing or brown beans. So he's like, this one, I'm not going to eat. Okay? Na anakata. But ukimpatia. Ama umwage githeri mwagike, they start correcting and you know there was one shosho who used to be left with 2 grandchildren who are 1 year. They used to refuse to eat like this. So alikuwa anaosha kagunia vizuri, anamwaga chakula and they will eat all of it. Anaimwaga hapo. Na wanakula inaisha, but you feed like this, they don't like. And they also don't like even unawashika by force. Okay? They are feeling I'm also a human being. Another thing, the mother comes, anaosha wale wengine wote mkono, anawacha nani? So the baby is like, okay, so mi sijaoshwa, so it is not my time to eat. So you can eat, me I won't. All these things, people don't know. This is somebody, this is a human being. Na anaona kila kitu. This is the same baby who sees the mother dressing up, sidio? And when they see that na anajipaka mafuta anavaa, they cry. Why do they cry? They know when she does that, she will leave. And you think that person does not understand what is happening here. Does not understand that your food looks better. So at 9 months, you don't need to cook separate food. What you are eating is what they eat. When you are washing others' heart, start with him or her. Okay? And that will make it lively for that child to eat. Ndio maana unaonanga, your child will refuse food in the house. Ukimkuta kwa wenyewe, tuongee ukweli, anakuaibisha. Why? Because there they have freedom. Sidio? And they are also eating what other people are eating. And they are eating together with others. Sasa wewe unakachukua, unakafidi peke yake, ndio asisubue nyinyi mukikula. So, okay, this is what happens. Mtoto anaendelea tu. Even the way you treat your child at that young age will determine what will become of that child in future. Okay? If you put distance, huyo mtoto atagrow na hiyo distance. Akijua baba ni mtu wa kukaa pale, hasuburiwi. You can't talk before the father says talk. Okay? Now that is how the child will grow knowing. Make them your friends. They will tell you things. And you'll be surprised. Ask the teachers, they will tell you the kind of things they are told by the children, which they cannot tell you. And you should be the first one to know. Okay? Yeah, so hapo kwa 1 year and 2 years, both of the parents are very important to be there. Even feeding time. Even you as the father, take the child and feed the child sometimes. Do you ask hata huyu ni baba ya? Baba yangu. Sidio? Yes. Any other question?
I think we may need to stop the question there.
Yeah.
Because I really need 2 hours.
We still have time.
Okay. is not closed, and it will take a whole month. Okay? Yes. But it is okay. If at all the food is not poisoned, it's okay. But now you can remove it and put it there. Kama unaweza toa chicken because you want it to thaw before you come in the evening, we watch hapo. It can get poisoned, and it will give you a stomach upset. But for deep freezer, they keep, even for, by the way, for breast milk, when a mother gives birth, the first few months, they have a lot of milk. You can always keep it in the deep freezer, and the baby will feed it later and will enjoy. That's what we advise for the mothers who are working. You keep it before 3 months are over, your maternity leave will be over. You keep it in the deep freezer, but you mark it. That bottle, make sure which one did you keep as the first, you'll remove them like that. And you store it, and even at 6 months, the baby can be using the same breast milk. So it preserves food. It helps the microorganism not to thrive. Okay? Yes. Especially at the age we are in now, at this era, you may not discourage a freezer. It will not work. You only need to take care of your fridge, sio kushida ukizima, ukiwakisha, ukifungua, ukifunga. Make sure if it is the double door, huku chini, you put what you use most, like juice or the milk. If you don't need to freeze the milk, you can keep it there and ensure that the upper door is not closed, opened mostly. Yeah. Any other question? We also have old people. Do we check them? Our shoshos and gugas back in the village, some of them, we are getting them with kidney failures. They have been in the house with the diabetes, they live alone. They become very sick, you get them, you bring them when things are bad. Keep checking them, isn't it? Pay NHIF for them. Inasaidianga sana, sana, sana. When you go for dialysis, one session in our hospital is 6,100, one session. The first week when you start, you do 3 sessions. That is 18,300. After that, you go twice a week throughout. You see, it's a lot of money. Before your NHIF matures, after 2 or 3 months, itabidi saa ingine uuze land. That's what people do, or you sell your cow or her cow. See, you know what people do there. You sell something that belongs to him or her so that you pay for that. So just pay for NHIF, it's an idea, and take care of them and feed them well, okay? Yes. Na wengine hawana meno, and what is available there is dry maize. Sidio? Yes, take care of them. They are our parents. Make sure they are food secure. Some love soda a lot, and some love salt. And it's not like they lose their taste buds as they continue to grow old. So they don't taste the salt. That's why you see some old people love sweet things. Have you ever noted that? Yes. So you can always guide them and help them. At least I think our church, we don't have the very old. The PCS, they call us, and they bring us those 60 and above. And you talk to them. Because they have old generation there. Yeah, so I think it is okay to take care of those people. Any other question? Or something you would like us to clarify? Are you okay? Any question even about expectant woman, about a baby, about a teen that you have in the house? Si munawaona? Yeah. So I think if there is no question, I'm through. Tumeelewa balanced diet? Yeah. Let us have 3 main meals per day. Breakfast, let it be main meal. Lunch and supper. If possible, eat supper early. I know it is not possible, even for me, it is not possible. But for those who it is possible, you can eat your supper early. Or if you want to lose weight, okay? You can eat your supper early at 6. So that at least, and you eat it, you are supposed to eat more in the morning, unaenda ukireduce. Sawa?
6 p.m.
if possible. Like high school, yes. So that you burn those calories before you sleep. I know, especially in town, it's not possible. But if you go in the village, people eat early. People sleep early in the village at 8. Napata watu wamelala. Kama si kweli. Yes, me I go at home and I'm like, sasa my mom anaenda kulala 8. Sasa nitakuwa nikifanya nini? Kwa kitanda, I can't sleep before maybe 10. But they sleep early because they do hard work in the shamba. So they are usually tired and they eat early and sleep early. All right? Yes, if you want to lose weight, there are many tricks that you can do. Maybe I should have mentioned that. You have to reduce your starch portion. Eat a lot of vegetables. Si tumesema they make you full for longer. And you can also try and drink water before food. That is for somebody who is willing to lose weight. You can drink water before food. It makes you get fuller faster. Okay? You can also try eating vegetables before food. Now vegetables, you can make them good. See, there's how you can prepare them and you enjoy them. Even before you put that starch portion and that protein portion, you eat it first before you eat a meal. And by the way, kuna kuwaga na supplements za lose weight. But very expensive. We have something called Obesigo. Obesigo, low in calories, makes you feel very full, so you don't eat a lot. So by the way, kuna supplements za lose weight. They are there. I know one, Obesigo, but now I think they think because you're overweight, you have a lot of money. So they sell it expensive, but not that expensive for your health, okay? You know, you don't expect something to add weight to have the same cost with something to lose weight. So it's there, it's called Obesigo. You take it, it makes you feel full, but it has very little calories. So inakusaidia usikule. These days people are doing things, crazy things. Kuna something called Gastric Bypass. Unaenda kwa daktari, kwa surgeon, they reduce your stomach so that unakula kidogo, unashiba, wache kunona. The other day they did the first man in Kenya. It is very common in places like US because these people cannot stop eating. You have now to reduce the capacity of the stomach so that they eat little, they get full. Your lose weight. It becomes the only solution for such people. So there are many ways of, I don't expect anybody, unless kuna watu wako overweight, not because of eating, it is genetical. Okay? So usione mtu uanze kumwambia wewe na wewe, you are eating a lot. Sometimes it can be genetical. There is something also we call hypothyroidism. Ndio? Inafanya tu unanona, it's a condition. Kuna hyper na kuna hypo, and it is a disease. And before it gets treated, you can be very fat, even when you are not eating a lot, okay? So there are still other conditions that can give you a lot of weight, sio kupenda. Kuna watu unaona tu familia, it runs in the family, they are all big. You give birth to a baby with 4 kgs, anaendelea hivyo, si ndio? It happens. So don't blame somebody ukiona mtu ni mnono. Our wives, their family planning method, they use their hormonal, they get a lot of weight. We unakaa ukimwambia we ni kukura. Si ndio? So find out the kind of family planning method they are using. Some of them cause a lot of weight because they are hormonal. All right? So usimblame ati, nilikuoa, ulikuwa unakaa, and then, yes, sasa unakaa aje wewe, unajiangalia. And let me tell you, when you tell a woman like that, you don't know what you have done. You have messed. Na hiyo kitu haitawahi mtoka. She can forgive you, but she will not forget. Yeah, it is that serious. When it comes to looks, hata kama unaona hakai vizuri, mwambie anakaa vizuri. Hiyo itafanya tu nyumba ikue better. Tunapenda hiyo. Kuambiwa you look good, you look nice. It can give you a very happy day. Yes. Some of them wanafura too because you have even not noticed the style of the hair has changed. Women, we are complicated, and that is how we are made. Sidio? When you tell her she looks nice, she is happy throughout the day. Hata kwenye ataenda, she will give people joy because you gave it. And a woman always gives what you give. Yes, because she receives a seed and she gives birth. So when a man, you give, whatever you tell her is what she spread. Ukimuinsult, she is good at it. She will give birth to it very well. That's what happens. Yeah. So let's take care of them. Kama anataka lose weight, musupport. Sidio? Support her. Ask her, what can I do to help? Okay? Yes, and it will be easy for her. And for you too. If you want to lose weight, she should also support you to lose weight. Okay? Kuna wale pia, they are sports people. I know some men are in sports. If I can give an example of somebody like Kipchoge, this guy, huyo si mtu unaweza pea ugali. That one, they eat things. The kind of calories they eat, they can't get satisfied with the food, the one that you put in plate. They eat very high calorie drinks and supplements, very, very high calorie, because you can imagine that person starts to run, you wake up in the morning, you prepare yourself, you eat breakfast, you reach at work, the person is still running. So you can look at the way he looks, the kind of calories they eat per day, and yet you can see the way they look. Sasa huyo mtu huwezi ati ukampea ati ugali ufikirie hiyo, ati you have eaten a lot of ugali and meat. That one, even meat doesn't do anything. They eat supplements, okay? On top of the food, they eat supplements. Very high calorie. Ukikula hiyo wewe utapasuka. Yes. So those also have their own diet. Very, very high calorie, very high protein. Hata wale wa Missouri, you think hiyo Missouri ni ugali? They eat things, okay? Yes, very high calorie. There are nutritionists who are specialized on sports nutrition. And they have them. They have personal dietitians to take care of their diet. Sawa. Yeah, so sijui what else I can add unless there is, yes? Food? Yes. Spices. It depends on what you call spices. Kuna zile spices mzuri, okay? Na kuna zile like roikos, they are not very healthy. Sijui curry powder, sijui what, but you can use like, if you get pepper powder, the black pepper, the bay leaves, the danias, the whatever, such things, they are good. But then, he also, when he mentioned about preserving food, kuna preservatives, sidio? And those are the ones that make us discourage the processed foods because they usually have preservatives. And most of the preservatives are salt, sidio? Very high sodium. That is the salt we are talking about, making your blood vessels rigid, hardening them, okay? There is also the food color, somebody mentioned the food color. There is something we call in nutrition food adulteration. Whatever the nutrients in that food, when you add food color, some of it will not enter into your body. There is something we call, they inhibit some nutrients. You know the way nutrients enter into your body is like a key and a padlock, okay? You cannot come with any key and open that lock. True or false? it has a specific key. So if it is a protein, it has a specific hole through where it enters. If it is a certain vitamin, the same. Maybe something I should mention to add on that is the porridge we are taking these days. Even the babies, I take you back. Do people these days go to portion meal? Now they have started because UGA has. I'm seeing a lot of queues in portion meals. It's better when you buy your cereals for porridge and go and clean them, okay? Remove chagarawe, sidio? And the ones that are rotten, and then you take it to a portion meal. That way, at least if you even know what is the content in that flour, okay? So people are, these days, and I said when people think they know a lot is when the diseases are coming up. You find somebody, a 6-month-old baby, the porridge has wimbi, has millet, has sorghum, has maize, has soya, has omena, has jugukaranga, has what? A lot of things have been mixed, thinking that the baby will become healthier. But now when you mix those things, something like soya can never be cooked in porridge. They will never be cooked. You know, the fact that the porridge has become soft does not mean it is well cooked, okay? Because now for cooking a bean, something like soya or a jahe, or because they are taking all of them to portion meals, that thing takes 2 hours, okay, to cook, or more, depending on the type of the fuel you are using. So for that bean to be ready to eat, it is the chemicals that are joining it that has to break down to be edible, okay? So when you just put it in porridge, the fact that it has been milled does not mean imeiva. So there are chemicals that are usually in such things like beans, soyas, and what chemicals that are called phytates. They are removed by that enough cooking, okay? So when they are left there, they bind some nutrients. Remember we said a nutrient is like a key, and it goes through like something like the whole of a lock, okay? So when you coat that nutrient, it will not get to the body. These days we have a lot of rickets in small babies who are not, you don't see the borax, because now they are coming to the babies who are young as 3 months, as young as 1 year, 6 months, 9 months. So that child has not started walking. So we will give those calcium supplements, and the bones will become stronger before they start putting their weight on their legs. So you may not see the borax, you may not see the knocked knees, okay? But it is too much for the other 1 year because of the kind of the porridge they are mixing. And these babies are never taken out, okay? In Thika, most houses ni gorofa, sidio? So mtoto haonagi inje. So also make sure the baby is taken outside kwa jua. Na si any sun ni ile asubuhi. You know, kuna ile jua ukitoka nje hivi utaki mtu asimame mbele yako. So you know that kasan, that is the one that is rich in vitamin D. So make sure, na hata kama mtoto ametolewa na amefunikwa hata ipata. It has to go direct to the skin for it to be taken up by the body, okay? Yeah, so make sure your baby gets outside in the morning to see the sun, aende na vest and maybe a pamper, then akifika pale anamfugua. The head iko open na mikono na miguu, atapata enough vitamin D. Vitamin D is the one that helps the calcium to enter into the body. So when we say rickets, it's about low calcium, but ukiulizwa what causes rickets, we say it is vitamin D, a deficiency of vitamin D. Because when you don't have vitamin D, you won't have calcium. Okay? So it is also good to note that baby should be taken outside to see. Si unaonanga wazungu, they don't even valisha watoto wao socks. Sisi tukibeba watoto wako na socks, wako na stocking, wako na, but for mzungu atavaa ka vest, ka pamper, the legs are hata socks hawavai because they know. Okay? Yeah. Let us also tukue watu wanajua mambo, si ndio? So that we save these kids na wakue strong in this life. So some preservatives ni kama hizo zenye ninasema iko kwa sausage, like the monosodium glutamate, inaitwa MSG, ndio inakuaga kwa sausage and it is highly carcinogenic. That's what they say. All the processed meat, na ziko na hizo vitu tunaita nitrates, they are also carcinogenic. Okay? Yeah. So that's what now processed meat now comes in there. That's why we are saying the very polished foods, tumesema wanatoa the husk, and surrounding that, under that husk ndio kuna some of these minerals we want, the phosphorus, the potassium. Potassium is very good for the heart. The zinc, it is being polished. Na ndio unaonaga kwa hizo akina unga wana fortify. See, they do fortification. But how sure are you they have fortified? Sijuzi wametuambia mafuta nyingi ni baya. It was in the news, ndio? Then all of a sudden, kuna mtu alitoa kwa supermarket. Yes, because you only need something small and you are good to sell. Now, that's the problem with our nation. Okay? So if you can be able to eat the whole grains, the better. Okay? So some of those preservatives are very high in sodium. The sodium we are talking about that destroys your blood vessels and exposes you to high blood pressure. So, any other question? Even concerning men, or a woman or a child. Also, there is the issue, something I want to remember. Now that I have the men, I'm trying to remember everything because we don't get you mostly in those clinics. There is something called vitamin A. Okay? Anybody who is aware how many, up to what age should a baby get vitamin A? Na madaktari wasiseme. Up to what age should a baby get vitamin A? Or up to what age should a baby go to clinic? 6 years. That is 1, 6 years. Another one. Sorry, 9 months. That one is very lost. But I can't blame him because most go for 9 months. Have you ever seen that booklet for the clinic? Have you ever tried to go through it? Because it has everything. You can even read, even the milestones are there. The ones you need to know by the time my baby is 6 months, what should he be doing? By the time the baby is 9 months, what should he be doing? So ukiona hajafanya hiyo unajua kuna shida. Everything is in that booklet. And vitamin A should be given for 5 good years. And that is when you should stop taking your child to clinic. Every 6 months, a baby should get a vitamin A supplement. Every 6 months. Akifika 6 months, the first time anapewa. And at 1 year, we double it. Okay? Then every 6 months from there until 5 years, you take your child to get, and vitamin A is free. Okay? So you take your child for that. Even the growth chart, ukiangalia hiyo growth chart, it's for 5 good years. But when you go to where there is the length of the baby, you know, for a small baby we call it length, we don't call it height because they are not standing. Where you see the length, it is shaded up to 2 years. What I was explaining before because after 2 years, the height does not matter. We cannot change it. That child will always be shorter than age. If at all they were shorter by the age of 2 years. But you need to assess. We need to do nutrition assessment for 5 good years. We need to give that vitamin A supplementation for 5 good years every 6 months. Vitamin A is very important. Inazuia infections, okay? And it gives a child good sight. Sasa huwa tunaletewa watoto wako na crowd. See, you have seen all those red eyes, those infections. And you know, sometimes back when we were young, we used to get those by thoughts. See, a lot of them, hata unaamuka macho. But when they discovered vitamin A, ikaanza kupewa. Siku hizi huwezi ona mtoto wako hivyo. Makamasi iliisha, sidio? So it really helps. So take your child for that vitamin. Wacha kugojea until there is campaign. That's what they tell me there. Wanapeagwa wakati wanakuja kuzunguka. But it is written in that booklet and you have never seen it. Even the dewormers are there. They are written very well how you should give your baby. That booklet has everything. But as they say, if you want to hide something from an African man, you hide it where? In the books. Could they be right? Could they be right? Yes. Read that booklet. You should be the first one to see that book. When they go to clinic, be the first one to see what, even if you are not able to go, you may be at work, see you? And you may not get the permission your wife gets to take the child to the clinic. Make sure when you come in the evening, you want to know the vaccines your child was given and why they are good, okay? You continue like, otherwise, kama vile mnasema, atafika 9 months and they will not get it. The others, 9 months ni measles. Kwa hivyo hata hao wanaenda 9 months, hata at least vitamin A 1 year hawapati. And they don't know. But mothers know. They are usually taught in the morning. So make sure your wife goes to clinic early. Okay? So that when they are giving the health talk, she is there to listen. Akichelewa atapata imepita. Because that's what they start with. Let's not wait until there is a deficiency, until the eyes are sick, ndio tunakuja kwa vitamin A. Some of those eye problems wanazitibu tu na vitamin A na zinaisha because it was a deficiency that was there. And can you imagine we have so many colored fruits which are very rich in vitamin A, yet we still have the vitamin A deficiencies that we have to be supplemented. Okay? So that is very important. Sawa? Yes. So make sure your child goes to clinic for 5 good years. Every 6 months, unampeleka for vitamin A. After 1 year, you don't have to go monthly. You go after 6 months. And you get your vitamin A 1.5 years, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, 3.5, 4 years, 4.5, 5 tunamaliza. Sasa tunaweza kukupea ruhusa. You are good to go. Na saa hiyo mtoto hata atakuwa ameshaenda shule. Let the child even know there is something called vitamin A. Kwa sababu mtoto wa 3 years anajua. Sindio? Yes. Any other question? Have we learned something? Yes. Let's go and knowledge is power. Ukienda pia, if you have somebody, maybe a parent, a relative, another person that you know who is diabetic or hypertensive, make sure they see a dietitian because that is where the problem is coming. If you get diabetes and you are not doing the diabetes diet, even if you take medication, they will not help you without the diet, because the sugar is coming from the food, because those are some of the history we are getting. Nimekuwa na ugonjwa ya sukari for 2 years. I've been taking medication, but hawana idea there is a diet that they are supposed to follow. So sukari inakuwa overwhelming until the kidney fails. I feel bad when I meet them. You know, when kidney fails now, everything is not good. They become impotent. Infertility comes in, even with women, amenorrhea. That's somebody we support them with dialysis and medication and diet. And the diet now even becomes harder. So it's better if you get, diabetes is a disease that you can control, and hypertension. You don't have to worry. If you get it, come, we will help each other and it will be okay, okay? And at least as we are Christians, we pray. So as we pray, we take medication and we do the diet, and God will do his part. Yeah. So if you know such people and you know they have not seen a dietitian, please make sure they see a dietitian. Tusigoje wafike hapo kwa kidney failure. Okay? It is becoming too much, and this is not a good condition to have. Okay? Kwa sababu sasa going to the hospital twice a week, is it easy? Wengine ni wazee sana. Some are cannot even walk for a long distance. So utakuwa una rent gari every twice a week. You pay for their dialysis. You pay for, kama saa hii hata medication. There is, sorry, hiyo siwezi sema na nguvu, but ni kubaya. Okay? You are buying almost everything, and it is twice a week, including something which is as something like heparin. Imagine coming with heparin. It is not easy. Okay? So tusaidie pahali tunaweza, tusifike pale. Na kwa sababu ni magonjwa ziko katikati yetu, we can always help and support. Sawa? Yes. Take them to a place where there is a nutritionist. Even if you are, it's very sad that I get people who are seen by diabetologists. Can you imagine? Such a doctor, specialist, na bado kidney ina fail. Na mtu anakuambia mimi hata sijawahi jua there is a dietitian that I should go and see. I don't understand. But it is very bad. Sidio? Let's help them. Hakuna kitu muhimu kama nutrition. It can zuia a lot of conditions, and it can control a lot of conditions. Sidio? Yes. At least daktari calls me whenever he gets diabetes. He makes sure I see them. Dr. Buya. So call us. Hata wale munafanya kwa mahospitali za private, and if you don't have a dietitian, please recommend. Yes? Uh-huh. It is one of the ones we have talked about, zinc. Zinc is one of them. Things like even calcium. If you don't have calcium, by the way, even calories, this is now balance, okay? Even if you give somebody zinc na hana nguvu, do you think it will work? All the minerals, selenium, zinc, magnesium, those ones that are helping the flow of the blood, yeah? The potassiums, if the heart is not working, can you do these things? You can't. Yes, bring them. Zinc is very important. Yeah. Yes. Mm. That's a very good question. But surprisingly, you may think that town people know. But you find they don't. Because when you see, there's nobody who would want his or her child to have bad health. Okay? So some of them, when you come now to sit down with a person, when there is already a problem, you realize they don't know. They don't have information. They are learned, yes, but you concentrate with your career, you? And what you know, and you are busy doing and looking for money, okay? So you find they don't know. Again, that village person is somebody, maybe an aspect kwa shamba. If he is not digging, he is picking coffee, he is picking tea, okay? They walk a lot. I don't know, sometimes I wonder, where do these, especially men, mwanaume atatoka mjengo, sindio? Aingie kwa nyumba 6 aoge na aende buroti. Si you know buroti? Where they go? Na ni jioni, and the work, the mawe amebeba kwa siku, but he still go to, lazima report huko, ama atoe rock, sindio? Na arudi nyumbani usiku, na kesho 6 ako kwa njia. So imagine the kind of calorie viliana. Actually, the food they eat, the amount, you may not eat half of it. They eat a lot of food, but they are able to burn. Okay? Again, they have those foods, like you are saying, the foods that are not processed. Okay? If there are mangoes in the village, they pick them at the tree. You start buying. Like now, zimeanza, nimeona maembe leo nikashangaa zimetoka wapi. Si hazijaiva. They have to do things to make them look like zimeiva, sindio? So the process they go through, you don't know. Zingine zinakuliwa na pilipili and all those things, so that, because ni chachu sana, okay? But then ule wa gishagi anaenda, they have the wild fruits, like the wild berries, nathi, who knows, wacha nathi zile za mananasi. There is a tumatunda tunaitagwa nathi. Huko ushago, wacha the coconut, okay? You know them. They are eating those things. Yeah? Even the child who is growing in the village. You know me, I was brought up in the village. The kind of things we ate, I think it was to pay health. Those two need to managu. Managu ziko na matunda and they ripen. And we used to eat them. Kuna miti ingine inakuaga na tumuiba inakatiwa buzi. Inatoa tu fruits, tukiiva ni black. We used to eat them. Dafifi, nani walikula dafifi? The matawi tu zinamea kwa shamba na ukikula they are salted. We used to eat a lot of things. So wakati mtoto wa gishagi anakula keki, sindio? Na soda na chips, what are the village ones eating? Kipiki ya gishagi kinaweza anguka mahali, ufikirie akitaamuka na kiamuke na kiende. Kilie kidogo. But if the town child fell there, the breakages, okay? You know, sometimes I wonder, because kuna kuku za broiler, could there be broiler babies? You know, I ask a lot of questions. Could there be broiler babies? The same way we have broiler. You know, for a broiler chicken, you can even eat the bone. Could there be such broiler babies? Which ones are you rearing? Peleka wao gishagi, wacha wajue hata uto tuvi. And you know the way they have fun wakienda huko. Si unaonaga the way they have fun. Wanapanda hiyo milima, wanachafuka. Unaona tu ushago tuko sawa, tumezoea. Yes, they really enjoy. I think the work they do, and they eat fresh foods. Sukuma wanakata hapo nje, sindio? Managu wanakata hapo. Wewe hujui ilitoka wapi, you just buy. You don't know where it came from. So I think that makes hatuwezi fanana anyway. As we sit a lot, sindio? Some are driving, na tukienda hapa Thika kwanza, the first thing I noted when I came to Thika, I saw a lot of bicycles. I was wondering, all these bicycles, what are they for? Because this place is flat, sindio? So I used to see mtu anawekwa pale vineyard, you are dropped by a matatu, you take a bike, it takes you to the hospital. So Now I'm like, oh, this is the work for these things. Yani even a short distance, people don't walk here in Thika. Tuko pamoja. Kwetu kuna milima, so you can't use a bicycle. You have to push it. So hatunaga hizo biashara za. Maybe a border, they have come now. The riders are all over. So people are even getting lazier, even in the villages. And you think those people don't have money. Distance ya 70 shillings, ushago, hapa ni 50. So they have money even there these days. Wazazi wetu wakienda market, they don't walk anymore. They take borders. Na hizo magonjwa hata Gichuki, they are coming up also. Again, let's say for example, huyo mzazi amegrow, amewalea mukikula hiyo githeri ya mahindi gumu, si ndio? These are the kind of food they have been eating all through their life. Okay? Then where umetoka town, you get money and you want your parent to have that life. So what do you buy for them? Napeleka a whole bale ya unga, si ndio? Amezoea ya kisiagi. Unampea pesa na unamwambia usikuwa unakula hii githeri, nunua mahindi ya green. Unaenda kwa kabuchare unalipa. Atakuwa anachukua wapi nyama? Then you take a whole quencher, juice. I have gotten such cases. Watu wamedevelop diabetes out of changing the normal diet they are used for. Okay? One day I met a woman that I knew she got diabetic. Akakuja kwangu akaniambia, you know, my daughter works in Highlands. You know Highlands? So, and she is over 60, ananileteaga juice 5 liters. Sasa siku hizi I don't cook, I eat bread with juice na rara. Because she is a market woman. Akitokea jioni, juice imeja. Imagine out of that, she developed diabetes. So pia mzazi, wanunulie jahe na hizo baazi na dengo, ukienda nyumbani unawapelekea. Buy them the healthy fats, okay? Let them eat what they have been eating. Just support them with money to add what they don't have and buy what they don't have that is healthy. Okay? Support them with what they have been eating. Otherwise, you change their diet, their body was not used to that, then they develop these diseases. Okay? Yeah. So wazazi waangaliwe na wananunuliwe healthy foods. Wacha waendelee kukula marenge yao ile wamezoea. Na ukienda huko you enjoy that food so that they know it is good. I usually tell my mom, do you know the way we miss this food when we are in town? And I call her, please, pika githeri. Nikute at least githeri. So I don't want to go and eat mchele yenye tinakulaga tu nikiwa town. But you find people these days, hata wakienda ushago, they don't want githeri. Jahe sasa ni hardware, products, what? That's what they are saying. Sidio? Sijui ni nini ilifanya meno zote zinauma. I hear a lot of things that men, ati munaumwa na tumbo mukikula githeri. Sometimes I wonder, could it be... Yes, we hear a lot. In the hospital, daktari, naongea uongo, we hear a lot of things. My husband does not eat githeri. Anaumagwa na tumbo. Please try not to get stomachache. Questions zimeisha? Sawa, I'm through. Ni kama nimemaliza. If there is no more questions, I think I have exploited as much as possible. Thank you.
Wow, praise the Lord. All that she had carried. Praise the name of the Lord. Can we appreciate her again? We want to really appreciate what she has taken us through. It is very, very, very important. I think some of these things we have never sat down as men to reason. And I said in the beginning that if we are to be the people that are to serve God, we have also to know some of these things so that we take care of ourselves. Because whatever has been deposited in you is in this house. And this house must be taken care of. So I want to take this opportunity to really thank our sister Elizabeth. She normally has such a passion when she talks about nutrition. I'm sure if we gave her 3 hours, she would still use the 3 hours. She has used almost 2 hours. And it's like things are still. So, Elizabeth, if we get another chance, we'll still call you. But I think it is important that Elizabeth gives us her number so that you can call her. See, that is important. Yes. So, Elizabeth, if you don't mind, we can have your number. The men can have your number. Just tell them so that if anybody has issues, they can always call you. And I'm sure, yeah, it will be free. I'm sure she will give you a free service. Somebody better take care of the mic so that she can get her number. It's okay.
Okay, my number is 0724 769 560. 0724 769 560.
Wow, praise the Lord. Thank you so much. May God bless you, Elizabeth, as you continue to do that good job. For sure, we have sat for long. For sure, if we take 1 more hour, some of us may forget what has been ministered to. Sasa. But before I call Bishop to just say a word, because our session has been consumed. But I think it's for a good cause. Bishop is always with us. We can always hijack him as men and bring him in our meeting, isn't it? But I'm sure he will have 1 or 2 words to say to us, because it is important we hear a word from him as our spiritual father. Praise the name of the Lord. Tomorrow we have our session starting from 9. That is it, Festus? From 9. And we will have praise and worship. We have Dr. Susan coming to talk to us from 10. I say this is a unique conference because we have ladies coming to talk to us. Those who know Dr. Susan, she's a professional counselor. She's born again. She has handled many issues on men. So tomorrow you'll have another opportunity, and this time not to talk about nutrition, but ask questions that sometimes we keep in our hearts and we don't ask anybody. So come early enough so that at 9 we start off, at 10 she takes over. Once she's done with us, we will have an outing where we'll go and see what one of us is doing out there. And that is where we'll eat lunch. Lunch will be eaten out there. I'm told they are goats. Is that so, Crispin? I don't want to say things that I'm not sure I can see at the back. Are there goats? Oh, there are 2 of them. I'm told there are 2 of them that we will feed as we talk and as we see what happens. So our conclusion of the conference will be in 1 one of our brothers' farm. Sawa. So please, let's come ready for those activities tomorrow, and I'm sure we will be blessed. Let's stand up for 1 minute. Let's thank God for that session that we have had. We give God the glory. Give God the glory. Give God the glory. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We recognize Reverend Peter has joined us. Karibu sana, Reverend Peter. Thank you for being a part of this. Now, without much ado, I just welcome our bishop. He's saying he's praying for us, but these are his people. Let him do what he wants to do. Karibu, Bishop.
Okay, take our seats. I wish Elizabeth stayed a little bit. I would talk to her because it is not very easy to talk to people you worship together with. And I'm sure she left some serious issues that she needed to rebuke men about. A lot of men, when it comes to intimacy with their wives, they are riding bicycles. And thank God I was not me talking to you about nutrition, because I would tell you things about men. Some people are dysfunctional, although they function very well in other areas because of the way you eat. I tell you what, I don't want to plant, this is not reactionary. There's no need of talking to people that are tired, isn't it? Because I'll be planting on your hearts when you're tired, and I won't do that myself. I will not allow myself to do that. So, and you too. Some of you have been working. How many of you came from work to come to this meeting? So you're tired. That's the truth. You're exhausted. So let me just comment about nutrition a little bit. I came on Saturday from the States, and I was able to visit a certain family that invited me. And they were so serious about me going to their house because they know I won't go. They sent me a ticket. They bought me a return ticket just to go to their house for 1 day, and the following day I come back, because I told them I can only come to your place 1 day, and they bought me a ticket to fly and come back. But when I went there, they told me something. When it was supper time, they looked at me and told me, you see our children here? These children have never gone to a fast food restaurant, and they have never taken a soda since they came to the United States. I said, what does that mean? They told me their mother, while in Kenya, studied nutrition, and she decided to practice it on our children, and they have never been allowed to take soda. And one of them is graduating this coming June. And they have never been into a McDonald's or Burger King, that is KFC, and the things that and the Chicken Inn that we take everybody. And this is what the mother told me. It is possible, by the way. I'm just saying this because it is possible. My eyes were open wide, because that, to me, is tyranny. I mean, those kids should go to see a judge, you know. That's how I reasoned. And I asked them, they should just go and see a judge and sue their parents, because and this family has been in the United States for a couple of years. I was pastoring them here in church, and they knew I would not visit them, so they decided to buy me a ticket and send it to me so I can go and pray for their new home, which I did. They wanted me to go and dedicate their new home. That's the reason why they're taking me there. They refused to sleep on that house until I go and dedicate it. So I went for 1 day and came back the following day. But when it came to supper, the kids came from school, and each one of them, including their boys, had a responsibility. There are 4 kids. And then I was told, this one knows how to cook. Every child here knows how to cook. and what foods they cook. And they made special food for you, each one of them. What I'm trying to say is what Elizabeth spent time to tell us here is workable, but you can only lead people to where you are being yourself. I've told you that before, isn't it? You can only lead people to where you are being yourself. So if we had junk, then our children, they will eat junk. If we don't even care what our wives eat when they are pregnant, and we spend the rest of the years taking our premature babies to see doctors, because we were never, that was not an issue when we grew up, isn't it? We never saw our mothers treated well. So me, you are a victim. I expected my wife to read all the books because she went to school. And I understand. So me, if I was to take care of children, if I was to be told to take care of Jamina, I don't know what to do, because I don't remember myself and I, telling Jamina what to eat and going to the supermarket to buy anything for her to eat. So that means we transfer what we know to our what? To our children. And then our children transfer that to who? To our children and our children's children. So that's how we develop generational issues. And I thank God, really, for Elizabeth to just come and talk to us. We worship with her. She sits there, and she can talk to us that way, because these things, to some of us, are bygones. Like, no, on Wednesday, my last born was 31 years old. Seriously speaking, nitaanza kufunza managu. Mimi kwangu nimepitwa na wakati. Lakini I have a testimony about my grandchildren. Can I give you a testimony about my grandchildren? My grandchildren are living a better life than I'm living, because my grandson is 17 months old. And he can engage you in a conversation. And he eats, we go to a restaurant, his food is ordered from the same menu that we are eating. And that has amazed me. He eats what we eat in a restaurant. And as she was talking, and then I realized, no wonder. My grandson reads books. Especially when he can mention things very correctly. And this time he was waiting for me to count A to Z. Then I decided to confuse him. I started QRQ. Then he would go RSTUVWXYZ. Then I say T. Then he would take them through. And he would count 1 to 16. He was waiting to prove to me how much he knows. He's 17 months, not 1.5 years old. Well, the mother is a medical person. So now as she was talking, I discovered you just pass what you know. Na nikasema nitapigia msichana wangu simu nimcongratulate kwa sababu I'm seeing the benefits. So as she was talking, I was seeing the what? The benefits. Yeah. That to me was really something. He can engage me when you go out to play. Because of course grandpas have a license to spoil the kids. So he knows a lot of things that I didn't know until I was in class 4. Why? Upbringing. So Elizabeth did not waste my time. She used it and she fed us. But I am asking myself a question. How many of us are willing to go and try to practice that? I was to talk to you on the reality of change. Bring it to where we are today. Because if you know how to manage change, you will manage frustration, depression, and anxiety levels. Okay? But one day I will. Now, as we go home tonight, because we cannot do any other thing, it will not be good. And it will not be wise either. I would want you to know what you value is what you invest in. What you do what? What you value is what you invest in. And there's the remaining day that is coming tomorrow. Please invest on what you value. You have only how many days? For 2022, you have how many days? Just one. So invest wisely in what you value. And God will bless you. Amen? Let's stand on our feet to pray till we go home. We want to appreciate the sound, guys. My wife wrote me a message around 8:30. She asked me, why are you not preaching? So that's why I was texting and writing to her. Are you not preaching today? So I told her we are getting instructions on. And by the way, Mose amepata mtoto wa kike. Ameniandikia hapa. Mose asipata mtoto wa kike na mnachezanga. Mose alioa Sunday. Mose alioa Sunday. Si ndio? Na akona mtoto sasa. Na nitatuma Elizabeth akamfunza nutrition. Kwa hivyo wanaume to uncomplicate matters na tuchukue maisha rahisi kama vile Mose aliyachukua akaoa Sunday na sasa ni baba ya mtu. Si umesikia wanaitwa watu na tunaita watoto wao ni kuwapatia kikombe ya red na wanakunywa kikombe, unakunywa China kikombe ya China, wanajua wao value yao ni nini? Ni plastic na wewe yako iko juu. Kwa hivyo tafadhali wale mko na watoto wachanga, consider yourself warned. Father, we thank you for tonight, and we appreciate that we could sit for more than 2.5 hours to be instructed on what we eat every day and what it does to us. And of a truth, we put a lot of things in our bodies that we don't really need. And each one of us here is guilty. If Elizabeth was to call and not a call, each one of us would be here in front because we eat a lot of things we don't need, and we think we need a lot of things that have no value to us. And therefore, even as we go home tonight, Lord, I pray that our budgets will change, and what we put on our budgets will change. That we will be able to really, really take care of us, for we have this treasure on clay vessels or earthen vessels. And when a clay vessel crushes, that's it. When it cracks, it can't hold water. It cannot be used for cooking either. And I pray that God, you help us not to crack our bodies, that we don't crack them, because when we need them, they will not be there for us. They will not support the work and the time we want to put on them and the amount of energy we want to put on them. They will refuse, and we'll begin by taking a sick off, and later on not go to work for a week, for a month. We have paid our salaries. The second one, the third one would be paid 50%. And at the end of the day, we get a dismissal letter because we have become a liability to the company. We pray that that will not be the case after Elizabeth has spent 2.5 hours giving us instructions. We will be different. We will change what we can change, and we will add to our diet what we need to add and remove what must be removed. We pray that God, you help us to feed spiritually too, to bring spiritual balance, so that we grow like a plane that flies with 2 wings. We will balance the left wing and the right wing, so that we can enjoy the comfort of flight in the middle of the 2 wings. As men drive home, and they are driven home, and others just walk home because they live in close proximity to the church, and others are taken by motorbikes or bicycles, and others drive their private vehicles or public means. We book an appointment with you to arrive safely tonight, that you renew our strength and cause us to love you more, because our love for you is what will determine how far we can go. I pray for that one more day, God, that you will again help these men to put value on what is very important so that this 2022 conference goes down to the annals of history as a successful conference. In Jesus' name I pray. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Consider yourselves dismissed. And remember, you were told it's 9 a.m. tomorrow. Where are they meeting? Oh, there's an offering. I'm told that you